Hi Aquarius and Aquarius Rising, welcome to your May 2016 reading. I hope that this finds you in really good spirits, and my goal this month is to give you the information that you need to be able to basically navigate some of the challenges that retrograde can provide. A lot of times people get very nervous and think, oh, what am I going to do? I have major decisions I need to make, and now retrograde is happening. The good news for you is that retrograde is not the end of the world. It's just a chance that the universe gives you to really take stock in your life and get rid of anything that is no longer serving your greatest interest, your highest good. So a lot of times this means unfinished business with people in the past. They may return, you haven't seen them for a while, and you can basically have a conversation and clear things up. Or if you've been avoiding something, it has a way of resurfacing. So with all of that in mind, what I'm going to do this month is not use a catalyst card. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, this is an extended forecast. I usually pull 10 cards, then 4 cards for health, wealth, love, and destiny, and a catalyst that pulls it all together. This month, I thought it would be more effective to look at triggers and opportunities, or shadow and light. So we'll do that in just a second. I start every reading with a channeled message, and your channeled word this month is pride. I actually heard an old song from the 80s by U2, I think, actually. Pride in my head when I was getting ready for this reading. I meditate, and sometimes it comes as an image or a song or whatever. And I looked up pride too, just to sort of give you some alternate meanings, because a lot of times we think of the negative connotations, but the positive connotations of pride include self-esteem, dignity, honor, self-regard, and it can also be like a great sense of joy and fulfillment, satisfaction, a sense of achievement. So for those of you that have been working really hard in your life to accomplish something that you're proud of, it's okay. Like, that's what the hard work is sometimes about, and taking stock and appreciating. It can be a form of gratitude, just thinking, oh my gosh, it feels really good to have worked this hard and gotten to this point. The key thing then is not to sort of forever sit in that, because there's other challenges, other things, but you should take that moment and you should revel in it when you have the chance. The flip side of the coin, because this is a month of shadows and light and it's retrograde, so the sort of challenges here is you really don't want vanity to come out. That's why I said you don't want to kind of sit in the moment too long. Big-headedness, snobbishness, haughtiness, any sort of things like that. So you want to sort of walk the line there between feeling accomplished and happy, and then realizing also that we're still humble human beings and there's still a lot of work to do. So that's sort of your first channeled message. There may be something that you can take pride in this month, and if you can, do it. But then remember to either support some other people and be happy for them as their accomplishments happen, or find other ways to find humility and feel humble and express sort of a balance to that pride. Okay, so now let's take a look at, I mentioned darkness and light, or triggers and opportunities. So this first card is going to show a trigger that could happen that could possibly derail you or pull you. This card is the one that wants to come. Could possibly pull you a little further away from what it is you want to be doing. And what we have here is action. So Thor being a very strong card here, action being about possibly coming in. I sort of think of like the Knight of Swords when I see this card, or the Knight of Wands. It's more of an error card to me. But for this, don't act too quickly. This can be either in saying something before you've gotten all the information, or again, sort of just running in fist first, head first, whatever, and not thinking about it. So really be calm, collected, and take pause this month, okay? When we look at your opportunity, the lighter end of the equation, it's interesting. I shuffle all these cards, but I think 4 cards pretty much came up for all the signs this month, which is very, very clear that all signs are going through similar sequences and cycles during retrograde. So your light opportunity is release the dark wound, let love live. What this means is not holding on to poisonous thoughts, poisonous relationships, cancerous thoughts, toxic thoughts. Use whatever adjective you would like. So if there's a person in your life that you've been obsessing positive or negatively about. It can be a friend, a loved one, a neighbor, whatever. This is where it's saying like let them go, because a lot of times we don't understand why this person gets under our skin. But see, you've got to let it go, and it's going to free you. A lot of times I do meditations for clients, and one thing that we'll do is a contractual release between people during like present life, past life, all lives, all dimensions. But another one is just literally the act of saying, I release you. I release all of the thoughts and the energy from my body, and I set you free in my thoughts, in my mind, and that's enough. Nobody can shackle you if in your head you don't subscribe to their power, and if you don't sort of ascribe or assign them power, they no longer have it. So what's a big secret, but that's something you should think about, is no matter how imposing or difficult people can be, a lot of times you're giving them that pedestal, that area from which they can speak. So if you take it away, they're on even footing with you, okay? And the truth is they always were on even footing, okay? Now let's take a look and see what your general reading is for the month of May 2016. So it's looking pretty good for you, actually. This is one of the easier retrograde spreads that I've seen this month. Nine of Wands at the center. This is a nearing of completion of a phase in your life. A lot of you have sort of come over the toughest part of a long battle or a long journey, and this is a chance here to remind yourself that you still have a little bit to go in reaching your goals, but you've come so far, and that was that pride card. Like, take a little bit of pride in how much of a 180 you've taken, and how wonderfully you've changed certain aspects of your life. Maybe you've defeated a major obstacle. Maybe you've just come to terms with where you're at in your life, and now you're ready to move forward. This is a more empowered Nine of Wands than the typical one, which sometimes shows a bandage on the head, etc. But 9 being near completion, a little bit of uneasiness. So this month there'll be some tension this month, but it's not bad. Next month, we see it as your crowning card. That's time to move on. It's time to let go, and the cool thing here is you'll see all the beautiful blossoms on the branches here. So I believe dreams are going to start to take flight. The card was reversed, and reversals again showing that a slight delay in that, but I believe between now and October, it's going to be a very beneficial time for your star sign. When we look at the last year, not just the last month, but the last year has been about regaining control of your finances, feeling more stable in work and in your career aspirations. Many of you have been studying as well, I can see with this. Studying, gaining knowledge, gaining money. And the interesting thing is you've made a lot of progress, but with the reversal of the Four of Pentacles here, you'll notice it's always about holding on. So I want you to release that idea that there's going to be money problems. Of course you're going to have to pay your bills and save and everything, but if you get into the mentality that those problems are something that have always happened and always will, then you set in motion a self-fulfilling prophecy. With the Seven of Wands, one thing that you can do here is ask for a little help. Try not to do everything on your own. Get good advice from a trusted individual. This is a chance for you to reach out and not to sort of have to balance it all on your own. With the Eight of Wands, I see a lot of opportunities opening up for you. Opportunities for social engagements, for work, for love, for laughter. It's a great spring and summer ahead of you. And 8 just means be ready, because you're gonna have a busy summer. And this month in particular is going to prove busy around the second week of the month, okay? One of the hardest things when we look here at your periphery is I see a little bit of sadness. It's easing. The Four of Cups especially when it's reversed, is about not always seeing what you have in front of you, wishing for more, and missing possibly a blessing. Because a lot of times in the Rider-Waite version, you'll see an individual that has 3 cups in front, 1 here. And the 1 here is the dream, the opportunity, the unseen truth, the universe trying to help you see what you have. And so take a moment and wonder, is it just that I'm unhappy, but I'm actually doing okay? Like, try to kind of go back a few steps and see where the discomfort, where the sadness is coming from. Great opportunity towards the latter part of the month to move forward. This is a good time if you do need to execute on a contract, do it around the last week of the month. If you need to make a move, the end of the month is okay. You'll be out of retrograde. Good month for entrepreneurial activities, particularly anything that you've started before. You want to make sure that you don't have any people in your life that kind of try to derail you. So if you have any competition or friends that are enemies posing as friends, try not to kind of let them get under your skin. You're on the right track. You don't want to take a misstep and lose the traction and the momentum that I see that most of you have. The end of the month is coming through with the Wheel of the Year, or the Wheel of Fortune. But this particular one does read seasons of opportunity. And if we actually read the Ace of Pentacles, it's attached to summer. So I do see additional money coming through as you go through to the summer months. So June and July are looking even better than May for you. One of the most, I think you've been through the most difficult time, because we see the cherry blossoms and the reversed sword here. So I think that if you can make it through the next few weeks, that you're going to get into an area of increased wealth and happiness. And it looks like love and relationships are going to blossom in the autumn months around September, October, November. Those are going to be great months for you. So I normally don't read all the seasons on that. That's probably the first time I did. But the reversal of that just means that this is coming. Be aware of it. You're not yet in that place of wealth, but I see new opportunities coming to you. Let's expand your forecast now, and let's take a look at what wants to come through in regards to your mind, body, spirit, health. So for health and welfare, we'll take the first card. Really be mindful of diet this month. And it's more about vegetables than anything. Organic is very important. A lot of times people sort of like shrug that off, but you want to have non-GMO and no pesticides and as clean and clear as possible, because you put those toxins in your body and it can kind of cause some other challenges for you. So go organic, reduce alcohol, caffeine, and sugar this month. It's more about going with the vegetables. Otherwise, your body seems to be good. Again, calling on Raphael for any of this is going to be very helpful. Let's take a look at what's coming through for wealth and finance. You're going to have to make it happen this month. That means basically not leaning on other people or expecting other people to fix things for you. Maybe that means going and, balancing out your checkbook, doing a forecast for the next year, taking a look at your expenditures for the past 6 months, seeing if you're going to have enough. This is you taking ownership. Like I said, I get a very strong entrepreneurial vibe. Aphrodite showing that you need to basically bring in what you love with what you do. One of my common mantras, but especially this month, it will work for those of you that do sort of work in any sort of healthcare where it's about helping heal people. This will be a good month for you, because love, healing kind of goes hand in hand. So whether it's Eastern healing, traditional doctor, or even sort of like metaphysical type work, I feel like it's going to be a very good month for you. For business folks, you just really need to try to incorporate other parts of your life that bring you happiness and joy and balance out the work. But it will be you doing most of the hard work this month. When it comes to love, again, we're taking the lead this month. This is a month where the stubbornness that can sometimes pop up in your sign is very beneficial. And you are going to be the only one that sort of has your own back. So do your due diligence and do any research that's necessary. I'm getting a definite sort of good time to sort of read up on if you're looking for a job, see what the competition is. You basically have to sort of educate yourself this month. But when it comes to love and relationships, what you're going to have to do is actually take the first step and introduce yourself, maybe join a site, maybe go to a social activity, but you'll have to sort of put yourself out there, okay? If you keep things too tight and close to yourself, think of the Four of Pentacles, it's never going to go anywhere. Okay, so now finally, let's take a look at your Destiny card. And I think this has come up almost every, almost every time this month. There's a big opportunity throughout this month for people to connect to other generations, younger and older. And I think what the universe is doing here is giving us a big pat on the back and a big nudge in the right direction, saying, talk to your grandparents, talk to your parents, talk to your children, or if you're someone who is single, find a way to connect to the community so that you're giving back and that you're either understanding the younger voices or helping the older voices. Likewise, if you're going through some challenges, you have a very big circle of friends that you can call on. On a spiritual sort of path, this means connecting to ancestors in the past. So we all have different types of spirit guides. We have angels, we have ascended masters, and then we also have ancestors that may be going back hundreds of years but are connected to us. So you can actually call on that ancestral wisdom. In yoga, it's the golden chain of teachers, but it exists just with every soul, independent of whatever spiritual, physical, mental sort of path you're taking. You can connect to your ancestry, okay? That is everything for this month. A pretty exciting month, I have to say. You have one of the better reads of all the signs. And what I'm seeing here is that, again, you're at a point where great things are happening for you. And it's probably a point where you're getting ready to embark on a new journey, a new part of your life. And I want you to really feel absolutely open to that. Take a little bit of pride in the accomplishments that you've made so far. Try to release any sort of relationships or wounds that you're holding. Maybe you feel like you've been hurt or abused by someone. This is a time to heal yourself and make a decision that I'm no longer going to let you get in the way of my happiness. And some of you need to just take the action and move out of a difficult work situation or a relationship situation. And if you feel like you need help, by all means, ask for help. This can be an outreach. Look at all the helping hands coming through for this. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that can assist you. You need to take the lead when it comes to love this month and business, and really be mindful of what you put into your body. Every morsel counts, so make it very healthy. I see increased monetary success as the month unfolds, but particularly as you head into summer. A need for you to ask for help again, a couple cards indicating that, and it's just going to be a very busy month for you. But otherwise, quite positive, and I look forward to seeing what June is going to bring for you. May seems like it's a very good month, okay? So that's everything. I hope this was helpful. If you ever want a one-on-one appointment, I'll post a link and you can schedule an appointment with me. Check out my rates and availability on my website. Otherwise, a great way to keep in touch and just know when these YouTube videos come out every month is just to subscribe to this channel. So I appreciate that. You can also subscribe to my newsletter or like me on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. So plenty of options depending on what you like to sort of engage with on the social networks. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time. All the comments, the likes, and the subscribes mean quite a bit, and it does help me stay motivated and know that this is making a difference. Take care of yourselves. Take pride in all that you do, and give yourself a pat on the back for all the accomplishments that you've made, big or small. It's really something to be appreciated. So, Sat Nam, take care, and I'll see you again in 1 month. Bye-bye.